Up. We here. We live. About to kick it off in a minute. I know I'm excited for this Memorial Day weekend. Gonna get some extra sleep. That's what I got planned, When you're a grown man, I ain't gonna be out in the streets, man. I'm a family man. I'll be at the crib grilling. Let's see. Tonight we're gonna be live with the homie Doug Usher. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Doug. NFC fighter. Owns his own gym. What up, homie? Some of these names are hard to read. All right, let's see if the homie Doug is ready. All right, let's get it. Where you at, homie? Usher. Where you at? There you are. You joined? Where you at? I see you joined up. There you go. Can't see you, bro.
There
There
we
you
go.
go. There you go.
King.
What's good with you, man?
The King. What's good, man?
What's good? What's good? Can't see you, bro. Oh, I
Hold
see
on.
your shoulders. All right.
Yeah. I'm getting you set up.
I got you. I got you.
All right. We good.
You live. Let's go. What's good with you, man?
We live.
We live. One of the hardest working brothers I know, man.
We live.
What's
What's good,
good with
man?
you? You just finished shutting down, closing out the gym for the night?
Yeah, man. We had a good session tonight at the gym.
Yeah.
Got some good kickboxing in, a little bit of no-gi jiu-jitsu in. You
Okay.
know, we did the thing, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man. So you just moved to a new location, right?
Yeah, we just moved to downtown Fayetteville off of Highway 85,
Okay.
371 Fayette Place. That's the address, 371 Fayette Place in Fayetteville, Georgia, on
Okay.
Highway 85. Man, got a nice location. We went from about 700 usable square foot to 1,500. You
Oh,
know?
double.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
That's what's
moved over
up.
there. We moved over there February 1st.
Okay.
And yeah, so we've been there now since February, March, April, May. So going on 4 months. Going
Okay.
on 4
That's what's
months.
up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. You're doing your thing. You did it inside the ring. Now you're doing it as a coach, as a gym owner. How does that feel?
hmm Feels good, man. I'm back. You can see
don't
back clean a little bit. You
tell me you
know,
try. Don't tell me you think about getting back into the octagon.
well, not the octagon, not the octagon. The gun.
Okay.
Clay Bennett wants me to do the NFC Jiu-Jitsu. It's been in my
Oh,
ear
okay.
about it for a long time. But no, man. Last September, Dirty Boxing hit me up. So
Word.
yeah, dude came in my inbox and was like, "Hey, brother, let's do some work." So
Okay.
I told him, I said, I was like, around the first of the year, I'm gonna start back training.
Okay.
Get back in some type of shape. And Corey Jackson is with them.
Yeah.
Corey Jackson do some work with them. So I've been talking with Corey a lot and
Okay.
waiting to see if they're coming to Atlanta. So
Mm.
word was that they're supposed to come this summer, but um, I haven't got any word from them if they're going to show up now yet. So I'm gonna be prepared.
There you go. Stay
Mhm.
ready. You ain't gotta get ready.
Yep, I sell a lot of tickets, and you know, and I come to fight,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I'm always going to come forward and punch you dead in your mouth. So,
Yes, sir.
you know, I'm hoping they come. That's something I like to try my, you know, test my skills in, just all stand up fight, no kicking, you know,
Mm.
no kicking, no knees, no takedowns, just hands, just boxing and elbows. Come on, man. It's right up my alley. I already reached out to Coach Manu and told
Yeah.
Manu, you know what I'm saying? Manu, they tell me to come fight. Manu, Coach, we going to go fight,
There it
you know?
is. Okay.
And I
You
told
getting that
Coach,
super team together.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, Coach was like, you know, Manu was like, Doug, dirty boxing, they use the elbow. The elbow. You know that, Doug. You know they use the elbow, Doug. I said, Coach, I trained with you know, from 2013 all the way to 2023. I said, I know how to use the elbow, Coach. I know how to use the elbow.
That's a real good impression of him too.
Yeah. I told him that. I told him that. He goes, yeah, Doug. You're right. You're right. Okay. We
Yeah.
start to train. Let me know when we start to train.
I bet. That's what's up, man. Love Manu. Manu's a good dude, man.
Like Manu, he used to kill me with them, you know, with the elbow work, bro. So my
Yeah.
elbow, nobody ever got to see it in the fights though, because I
Oh, okay.
always finish people with the down the pipe.
Yeah.
But Manu would have me bam,
Mm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
shaving them pads up with them elbows. But I just never got a chance to really use them in the fight.
Okay.
But yeah, Manu is the truth when it comes to that mid work, man. I can tell you
Yeah.
not, prove you not, bro. My
Yeah.
hands felt like lightning every camp when I was with Manu.
Yeah. No, Manu's amazing. Shout out to Coach Manu.
The Coach
Let
Manu.
Yeah. Legend, man.
And
Legend
the rest of my
inside and
coaches
outside
too.
the ring.
And the rest of my coaches too. All the coaches that made me who I am. Tim
Mm-hmm.
Stein, Ron Jucal Canario, Rodrigo Archulario, Gabriel Kitober, Josh White with
Mm.
the judo, Josh White, Leo White, my judo senseis. Come on, man. Those people made me who I am. It ain't just about me. It's about the
Mm.
people
Yes,
who
sir.
molded me to who I am, you know?
Yes, sir. Now, and you definitely got some solid lineage with who trained you and molded you, man. So you a brown belt in judo, right? Black
Yeah.
belt in BJJ, we know that, and
Black
we
belt.
know.
I got a test for my black belt in judo. I should have been a black belt in 2020, but COVID shut the dojo down. So I ended up getting
Okay.
my black belt in jiu-jitsu. I've been a brown belt since 2016. Like I'm well overdue for my black.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, well overdue. I just gotta most likely next time I go back to judo, you know.
So you about to be double black then?
Yeah, that's the way to do. You know,
Yeah, that's
I
yeah
did a
that.
backwards. You're supposed to get your black belt in judo first.
Mm,
'Cause how are you going to know how to submit a man, get a man on the ground if you don't know how to get him there first?
right. That's
You
true.
know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
true.
pull a guard in a street fight and see what happens to you. See what happens to you. Somebody gonna pick up a brick, a stick,
Yeah.
or something,
Hmm.
or he's gonna soccer kick you in the face. You know?
Yeah. No, that's true. I got
Yeah,
man.
you
Listen, I
don't know
gotta
how to
get my
get that person to the ground.
I gotta get back in, lock in with Rodrigo. You know
Oh
he.
yeah, you go the truth, but that's why I went under him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jiu-jitsu black belt, judo black belt, background
Greco
in
Roman.
taekwondo. He actually taught me some taekwondo. Like
Mm-hmm.
right before the end of my career, you know, before I was done doing MMA, like I started training taekwondo privates with him.
Mm. Nah,
You know,
Rodrigo's the
also
truth.
Greco-Roman wrestling too. He wrestled
Yep.
for Greco for Brazil.
Yep.
Jucal wrestled for Brazil too. Both of them are on the wrestling the national team.
That's what's up. Nah. Like I said, man, you got a solid pedigree, man. Solid uh team and coaches around you. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we already know that with your
I
fight
wanted to
record.
surround myself with the best.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Paul Ardelia, Sergio Ardelia, Brandon Rosenzweig, all of those guys. I used to study leg locks under those guys. Those guys made me real proficient with leg locks. I thought I knew leg locks until I ran into them. And that's how I
Okay.
came. That's how I ended up coming up with the heel hook mafia.
Okay. Okay.
Heel hook mafia. Yeah, that was kind of dedicated to that group of guys. Every Sunday on Knuckle Up, we would go over there and just leg lock city, man.
Dang.
You
Okay.
know, but you gotta
That's
know,
what's up,
you
man.
want to be a true jujitsu practitioner, a true grappler. You got to know how to attack the entire body,
The entire body, yeah. Yeah. Not just
not
half.
just the head, not just the neck or the
Yeah.
arms and
No,
all the
entire
troops.
body.
You got to know how to attack the lower body too.
Yeah,
from leg
absolutely.
locks to knee bars, from foot locks to knee bars to hip cranks. You got to know all of that stuff. You never know when you're going to need it.
True, true. So you got a few things going on. You thinking about doing the dirty? Was it the dirty boxing?
Yeah, they call me. They contact me. Yep.
Okay. And then you
Mhm.
got you going to start competing with the jiu-jitsu. You gonna do that a little bit more heavy, or that's just a one time every now and then type thing?
You'll see me doing jujitsu periodically. I'm gonna be popping into jujitsu, competing in that, and getting back into competing in judo.
Nice. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. You ready to get back in? That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
So
once we stop moving,
that's what it is. That's what it is. And
once
that's what I
we
was gonna
stop
tell you, man,
moving,
because you never stop moving, man. So you got
yeah.
all that going on just on that side as a fighter and training. Then you're coaching as well. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, coaching keeps you sharp too. You get in
Yeah.
there, you got to train these guys, you got to spar with them, you got to roll with them, get them up to speed. But like a lot of people don't know, I was coaching when I was fighting.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I've been
I mean,
coaching
yeah.
since probably 2012 or 13. I've been coaching for a long time. A lot of people just didn't know because I was fighting.
Mm.
You always saw me fighting, but yeah, I've been a coach behind the scenes for a long time.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
didn't know
before I
that.
had my own gym, I coached down at Independent MMA in Noonan for about 10 years.
Oh
All the
wow.
way,
Okay.
all the way back when it was Moab, when Tim Stout owned the majority of it. I've been coaching since then. That's
Got you.
probably like 2012, 2013, about 2013.
That's what's up. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
man.
Okay, so when did you open the gym? That was like 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, 2023, like
Okay, 3 years ago. Okay.
September of 23.
Okay.
I
Okay.
got the gym, started my gym in Union City, and I was working 3 days a week. He was running 3 days a week out of Coach Sam Bancroft's spot he had
Mm-hmm.
over there. And
Mm-hmm.
then I went to 5 days a week and moved to a unit next door. I stayed there for about a year and a half, and then I moved to Fayetteville.
Okay. I'm assuming that's closer to you and just a better situation, just
Well, it's a
well.
better location. It's a little bit
Mm.
further away, but it's a better location.
You got
Like I
more
said,
space.
more space. And since
Mm.
I've been over there, like I said, I've only been there going on 4 months, and I've signed more people up. And I signed more people up in 2 months than I did in the whole year in Union City.
Mm. What do you think that
So,
is?
it's a more affluent area.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
More
It's a
more
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 affluent
more people actually willing and able. I got you. I got you.
area.
All right, so I saw you doing your thing. Had a couple fighters in last NFC, did well.
Mhm.
How's it feel, man, to win on as a coach and a fighter, man? I know that gratification must be different, right? To be in it is one thing, but to see how you help guide somebody that must be a different
I mean,
feeling.
I've done that before. I fought the same night and coached. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I went out there in the NFC one night, coached one of my guys. I'm sitting in the corner. I got wraps on. I'm in my fight gear, and I'm sitting there with hand wraps on, coaching. You
Get
know.
out of here.
And then
Okay,
as soon as
what fight was this?
yeah,
What fight?
I'm trying to remember. It was a couple of years ago. It was a few years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago. And
Uh,
as soon as the fight was over, I didn't even go get in the ring. My guy had won. I went straight
uh-huh.
to the get start warming up. Like I had to come out here and fight in a minute. So like
That's
I said, it's
crazy.
no new under the sun for me. I've been doing this, man.
That's
I
crazy.
enjoy it. I enjoy it, but really, I enjoy just watching people succeed.
Mm.
Helping people get over, uh, helping people get accomplish
Something. Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody does this stuff for a purpose, and a lot of people don't tell you why they're doing it, why they're
Hmm.
fighting, why they're competing. But a lot of people don't. More people than you know have something deep that happened to them inside.
Mm.
The reason why they're competing,
Right.
going out there and risking getting themselves hurt, killed. We can die doing this stuff.
Word.
Just doing a jiu-jitsu match, roll on your neck wrong.
Hmm.
It's all it takes. Freak
Yeah.
accident, freak
Yeah.
accident, penalized for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
So, um, And sometimes, man, I talk to some of these students, and when you have a serious talk, sometimes these people tell you what, you know, and there's a lot of disturbing things that I've been told from some of my students,
Mm.
you know, here and abroad, you know, that's happening, you know. So it's not just me just getting into this, you know, doing the martial arts or whatnot and coaching just to have a name or to try to be known or noticed. I never cared about that, you know. For me, fighting was always spiritual.
Mm.
Martial arts in general is a spiritual journey. You have somebody,
Sure.
you have people that are fighters, and you have people that are martial artists. A fighter is going to fight until he's done fighting,
Mm-hmm.
right? When he's done fighting, he's no longer going to train. He's not going to do any of that stuff. He's going
Mm.
to, martial artists is going to continue to train until their body physically tells them that, hey, we are no longer capable of doing this.
Mm.
It's a lifestyle. Martial arts is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's one thing to be a fighter. It's another thing to be a martial artist. It's two totally different people.
Absolutely, man. Man, you dropping gems right now, man. That's so true. And a lot of times, especially I noticed in jiu-jitsu there's a loss of that's fight that martial artist spirit, right? It's becoming more of a sport. It's becoming more so that's the popular side of things. But I love what you said about being a martial artist. It's something that it's a lifestyle. It's not something that you just do just to do or for a certain amount of time. And yeah, a lot of these guys they have, they're fighting demons or whatever they got going on in their lives, and that's what helps them get through it, right? For me, jujitsu has been my therapy, just physical therapy, not verbal where I'm just talking to somebody. So I totally get that. For you though, has that been something that you've used to kind of overcome a few things in your life?
For me, I felt like the whole reason I was competing, so I always felt like I had something to prove.
Mm.
You see, my whole life I always felt like I was an underdog. So anytime like we played, football or something like that, play pick teams, I always want to be on the team with the worst players.
Mm. Okay.
You know what I'm
Why
saying?
is
Because I
that?
always felt like I had something to prove. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Even though we the underdog, we're gonna fight you, tooth and nail. And that was always my motto. So even when I moved into martial arts, everybody always asked me, well, why you fight like that? You just go forward. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, because once you make that decision to get it, once I make the decision to go in the ring or get in the cage, is it. I don't care if I die. So I'm not going to back up.
Mm.
I'm going to come forward. You always want to invite the chaos.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
if you can someone that can stand in the face of chaos and not flinch, you can't be broke.
Mm.
The worst person that you can fight is somebody that doesn't care if they lose.
Damn.
Because
Yeah.
he's not going to fight cautious. Well, he's not going to fight to survive.
He's fine to end you.
He's fighting to win the fight. You see what I'm saying? He's not fighting to win the rounds. And I
Mm.
tell my guys this all the time. I said it's extremely hard to fight someone that is not fighting
Mm.
because he's not going to fight. He's going to stall. He's going to run. He's going to grab you and take you down and lay on you and milk the clock. He's just trying to win the rounds, or they're just trying to win the rounds. You see what I'm saying? The one that keeps coming and standing in your face and punching you, and when you back up, he's right back in your face, punching you again, taking you down, busting your head into the ground. Every time you get up, he slams you again, or he beats you up on the feet. That's the one you got to work because he keeps coming. He's not afraid to lose. He doesn't care if he gets hit.
Mm.
It's a fight. That's what you signed up for.
Yeah.
You signed the contract to get hit, kicked, elbowed. So you can't go out there and be afraid of it. And that's the mentality that I put into my fighters. You fight no matter what. And my motto was, if I go down, I'll go down spitting fire. I'll go down swinging. You'll never
Going
see
out
me
on
down for another man.
going out on your shield. I get it. That's
Not
what's
on the
up.
field, bro. The
Yeah.
warrior spirit. You know what I'm saying? I got the code of the samurai tattooed right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the code of the samurai. So whether it's in the ring or it's in a street situation, I'm prepared to die at all times.
Okay.
You see, and that's the life of a martial artist. A martial artist is
Yeah.
always prepared to die. He's
Yeah.
always prepared for battle, and he's always prepared to die.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's the definition of a samurai. You know.
It's dope, man. Dope. Okay. So
So no.
you got a couple fights coming up. At least your fighters do, or
I got some guys on the NFC card. I just had a guy on Lima's first card.
oh,
Team
okay.
Lima, yeah, Douglas San Diego did their card last week. My 155er, my amateur, Grayson Dahlman, he went out there and won. So
Mm,
he's 1-0 in kickboxing and 1-0 in MMA now. You know,
nice.
so
Nice.
he's undefeated. I got a couple of guys fighting. Lance Brooks is fighting July 10th, and got one more person on that card, Grayson Morrill. Both of those guys will be fighting on that card. And then I have somebody on the August 7th card. I got a 40, Jermaine is 54, 55, 54, 55, Jermaine Tillman. He hasn't fought since he was 46, I believe.
55 years old.
Yep, 54, either 55, but he's going to do the NFC boxing. You know, NFC is doing the boxing now.
Yeah, they're doing everything.
He's like, I want to get back out there and do another one, Doug. I want to do it. Okay, come on.
That's
He can
what's up,
still
man.
he can still move. Like he's an older cat, but he started late. He just started fighting. I think he had his first fight at like 38 or 39.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? He was almost 40 when he fought for the first time, so he ain't got a lot of miles. His body ain't all busted up. He just got to get in decent shape. But you'll see him.
That's
You'll
what's
see
up,
him.
man.
Yeah. He's already matched too. So
Oh yeah. Oh, so it's locked in then.
yeah, I'm excited. Old country, little short country black dude named Jermaine.
Okay, we gotta look out for Jermaine, man. Out here doing it in his 50s. That's
Jermaine
what's
too.
up, man.
So he'll be back. You know, he from the old school, back in the Moab days when we was under Tim Stout.
Mm.
Back in the Moab days in like the early 2000s, 2010, 9, 10, back in there,
Okay.
12, 13. Yep, yep.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
bringing the story,
That's
brother. I'm
dope.
bringing the story.
That's what's up, man. You doing a lot. You doing a lot for Atlanta, man. Just for Georgia, period. The fight scene. I wanted to get your opinion on that, man. What do you think? Atlanta's huge. A lot of good fighters coming out of Atlanta now. We got some folks stepping out and getting to the UFC and doing a couple things. Is that a goal for you and your squad? I mean, that's always a goal, right? Go to the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do you think you're gonna get your guys to get there? What do you think is needed to get to that level?
Dedication, hard work, and then you got to know somebody.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
true.
But I
A
know
lot
a
of
lot of
times it's who you
people.
know.
I know a lot of people. I know one of the matchmakers for the UFC personally. I fought for him twice when he owned Legacy. So, um, you know, plus I got some connections to some other organizations too.
Hmm.
I know some people. So if you know if they make it there, cool. My job is just to be their coach in the gym and then their life coach too, because everything I teach them in the gym applies outside the door.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Everything applies outside the door. You know, and I tell them all the time. If any other fighters or people who train are listening, if you quit in the gym, you'll quit in the ring. If you quit in the gym, you'll quit in the ring. You'll quit in life.
Facts. Yeah.
You'll quit outside the ring. Anything in your life gets hard or tough, you'll shut down or you'll quit. You'll never have anything that you want in life because you give up.
That's true.
And that's one thing I tell my guys. I say, you want to piss me off in the gym? You want me to put my gloves and shin guards on and cut the clock off and tell you to get in the middle? Let me see you quit in that gym.
There you go.
Let me see, because I cannot. That's something I cannot have because it's infectious. If I let you
Yeah.
do it, other people in the gym will think it's okay to quit when it gets hard, and that's
Mm.
unacceptable. Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Have
So,
you ever had to tell somebody to get in the middle?
I have, you know, I have before, and
How'd that go?
it didn't go well for him. You know, it didn't go well because after I get done, you're still in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of the gym goes on you. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to learn.
Yeah.
And plus, you know, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to rough you up a little bit, but I'm really going to make you just exhausted. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when you're completely exhausted, then I call in somebody fresh. I call in somebody fresh again.
Mm.
And then once you survive that, and I'm like, look, we just did all of that to you and you survived.
You
So why did
survive.
you
Yeah.
quit against this one person who was just as tired as you and you quit? You see what I'm saying? You never show weakness. If you're going to go out on your shield
Out on
because you
your
never
shield.
know all it takes is one mistake for that other person to make.
Yeah.
And I tell my guys all the time, the fact you, competing in martial arts or fighting combat sports is it's like I like to compare it to drag racing, to
Mm.
racing cars. The faster car doesn't always win the race.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes the better fighter doesn't always win the fight.
Very true. Very true.
You see? But you have to be able to take risks. If you never take that risk, you'll never get that reward.
Absolutely.
I don't like to see people backing away from punches or backing away from exchanges. I don't like to see people backing up. If I catch you backing up, I get on them right then.
Mm.
Stop backing straight up. In the ring, in the cage, in the ring, you ain't got nowhere to run.
Hmm. Okay. No,
You see what I'm
that's good,
saying?
man.
You're in a closed environment. You have nowhere to go. Where are you going
Nowhere.
to run? Why did you sign the contract if you're going to go in here and run and do cardio? You know? Nobody wants to watch you do cardio. You know, I'm not training you to do to run laps. You see
You
what I'm
signed the
saying?
fight and then you out
You
here
see what
doing
I'm saying?
track.
Yeah, you out here backing up, you know. Go forward. Go forward and fight. That's what we're here for, you know.
Okay.
And that's what I try to instill in my guys, man, that mental fortitude.
Yeah, that's important. The mental toughness is a lot of times I would say is the most important thing. Like you said, it's not always the best fighter or the better fighter that wins. It's whoever got that mental toughness, that heart, and just willing to just, like you said, go out on the shield and just fight till he drop. And a lot
You
of
gotta
times that's the guy who wins.
have the dog in you.
Gotta have that dog in
I
you.
tell my guys this. I said, go out there and take the center of the ring and stand there.
Mm-hmm.
Charge the center of the ring and stand there. You don't know within the first 15 or 10 to 15 seconds if he wants to fight.
Mm.
Because if you stand in the center of the ring and he comes up there to you and gets in boxing range and starts exchanging, he's there to fight. You take the center of the ring, he comes up, y'all touch gloves, he stands there, he takes a step back, or he goes left or right, he's not there to fight. He's there for likes and shares, or they're there for likes and shares.
Likes
It's,
and
yeah,
shares.
social media fighters. You know, you see them. You
Yeah.
see them. Social
Yeah.
media fighters. They're there for social media. They're not there to fight.
Uh,
They're there to try to survive the rounds. And at the end of the fight, what do? Run and jump up on the cage.
yeah.
Uh, Like, dude, you ran the entire time. You threw one punch, one kick, and then got out of range and took off running. You know, and you want to call yourself a fighter? You're not a fighter.
Damn. Damn.
You participated. You went out there
I
and you
feel like
participated.
I feel like that applies to a lot of people nowadays, though.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. I call it out all the time. A lot of these folks ain't there to fight. A lot
They're
of
there
these
for
people
likes and
are
shares.
not therefore they're not there to fight. Trust me. It ain't for everybody. You see some of these guys, look, me and you used to see it back in the early Ultimate Fighter days, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not even the early ones. The early ones actually had tough guys on it.
Yeah.
Once it got later on down the road, you start seeing these guys coming in 15-1, 17-2, you know, 9-0, 10-0, and then they get a guy on short notice on the ultimate on the contender. They get a guy on short notice that's like 5-3, and
Yeah.
you get TKO'd in the first round.
Damn.
And then what
Oh,
they do, they scratch your name off the list. Because
man.
why? They know you padded your record. You fought a bunch of easy guys. You go pull some of these guys' records, and they fought guys with losing records, and they fought these same guys like 2 and 3 times.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, why did you rematch this guy? He's got a horrible record, and you fought him 2 or 3 times.
Mm.
Oh, he padded his record because he's trying to get to this UFC. Oh, okay. Because UFC only cares about wins.
Mm.
You know. And you see these guys get there and they get dispatched, or they'll get signed to the UFC, 2 or 3 fights, and they're back on the regional scene, losing the regional fighters. I tell a lot of people, man, unless you're in the upper echelon of the UFC, unless you're in the top 10 in the division, your hardest fights are on the regional scene.
Yeah.
That's why you see a lot of these guys fight easy guys or guys with losing records. And I never asked to have guys with losing records. I was always terrified of that tomato can showing up that night and deciding he want to fight. You see what I'm saying? When you go out there and you get hit by a guy that's, 1-7, and here you are 13-2. Now you got to start all over. Your stock just went out the window.
Dang.
You see what I'm saying?
That's the dirty side of the fight game that people don't talk about.
That's the dirty side of the game, because you're gonna end up, when you keep fighting those bombs, you're gonna run into a bomb one night and decide he wants to fight.
And he gonna beat your
He's gonna lay your ass up. And you're gonna be sitting there looking stupid, and everybody's gonna be laughing at you, and you got to start all the way over. And I just wasn't willing to do that, and it's just not in my. It was never in my mindset to fight an easy fight. Easy. You bring me somebody similar to record. You know what I'm saying? Give me a test. That's what it's for. A martial artist tests himself.
Right.
He tests himself, And I tell people now, I grew up a Street Fighter kid. Street Fighter 2 is my favorite game. First character I ever picked on the game was Ryu. I was just drawn to him. And then once I'm 43 now. Once I got about 41 or 42, I realized, I thought back to it, and I was like, wow. The first character I ever picked on Street Fighter was Ryu. But my favorite character to play with is Ken. Ken's got all the fancy moves. His moves take more power. He's flamboyant. He's showboatish.
Yeah.
But my favorite fighter my favorite character is Ryu, because he always walks the path. He fights you, he beats you. When you fight on his stage, he's always alone. He's always alone. There's nobody there. It's just you and him on the roof fighting. When you fight Ken, you're on the dock, you're on the pier. There's a yacht with a bunch of rich people watching and betting and cheering. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was a Hollywood guy. You beat the game with him, he goes to Hollywood, starts doing movies. You beat the game with you, he's got that backpack, and he's walking down the road looking for another
that's
thing.
true.
You see what I'm saying? Looking for another thing. And I was like,
it's crazy. I never paid attention to
that. Yeah, I always thought, like, that's why I like that guy so much, because he's a true martial artist.
He was, yeah.
He don't care about the camera and none of that. He just wants to fight and move on to the next fight. You know what I'm saying?
He always looked like he was running away from home or something. He had his little back.
With that sack over his back.
That's it.
And his gi on. He was never in regular clothes.
Yeah.
He's walking with his gi on, looking for an ass to beat. That's my type of dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk, just fight. Yeah, don't talk, just fight. That's it.
You made me look at the game a whole different way, man. I mean, of course, I grew up with the same age. I grew up playing that game. That and Mortal Kombat, but then, Ryu was the real martial artist. Everybody else was just,
Everybody else is just fighting. He's the real martial artist on the game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up, man. That's dope, man. So I definitely understand where you coming from, man. That makes a lot of sense. The martial artist mindset and all that. So it goes without saying that that's a philosophy you instill in your folks, in your fighters at your gym. I know you got the kids program and all that, so you make sure these young ones, the youth, is understanding that this is your martial art. It's not just the fancy stuff and the sports that you see on Instagram and on YouTube or whatever. The traditional part of it, that's I know for a fact you teaching that, because that's the mindset that you go with.
Right. We implement a lot of wrestling too, because my son and my daughter wrestles.
Okay.
Yeah, we implement a lot of that too in our jiu-jitsu. So like my jiu-jitsu, my ground game, when I teach it, it's a mixture. So it's not just Brazilian jiu-jitsu, it's a mixture of jiu-jitsu, judo, folk style, freestyle, Greco, and sambo.
Yeah, I could tell when you do a lot of posts with some techniques, and most of the time it's techniques I don't see people posting on the regular. You could go on Instagram, you could see this, maybe 10, 15 different people posting the same exact technique. Yours, every time I see you post, I watch, I'm like, oh, okay. I never looked at it this way. I've never seen it done that way. So I definitely got to give you props on that. You definitely have a unique style. So it's a combination of those three things.
It's a little bit it's unorthodox because, like I
Yeah.
said, it's a mixture.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? Some things I need to do to neutralize jujitsu. Some
mm,
things I need to do to neutralize wrestling. You see what I'm saying?
right.
My whole thing is a more so about controlling people. So I'm getting more,
Absolutely.
I get more into the leg riding system because of leg locks,
Yeah.
defending leg locks.
Yeah.
A lot of leg riding and shin pinning. So a lot of that comes from folk style wrestling.
Mm,
Some of y'all need to study some of these old wrestling videos, some of these folk style wrestling videos and these folk style wrestling rides. Guys like Ben Askren. I studied Ben. I studied uh, of course, Habib. When I fought on his card, I told him, I was like, dude, I got your sambo for Top Game on BJJ Fanatics. And he goes, oh, really? Really? Oh, you like it? You like it? How is it? Is it good? Is it good? Brothers, is good. It's good. Oh, this is good. This is good. You should study more. Study. You know. I told him I was like, yeah, but I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
So I studied him, Islam Makatev, Hamzat Shemaya, all of those cats. And
Mm,
a lot of that stuff works on these jujitsu guys because you have to have what to do jujitsu? Your hips.
yeah. And if you don't got that,
If I get on top of you and I
hmm
slide my shin over one of your thighs and pin it to the ground, you can't do jujitsu. You don't have your hips.
yeah,
You got
yeah,
one hip. Your other hip can't move. It's immobilized.
yeah.
Now imagine if I can punch you. This is an MMA fight. I'm blasting your head off the canvas
Yeah,
because you can't move your hips. Therefore, you can't hip escape. Only thing you
yeah,
can do is block. And once you do this, the head and arm triangle is right here.
yeah.
It's the end of your fight.
That's it.
That's the end of your match. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of
So,
people need to start, like more jujitsu guys need to start wrestling. It'll
yeah,
take you a long way. That and judo, it'll add a lot more to your game. Like when I
yeah.
started training judo, I was just doing jujitsu. I wasn't wrestling. I was a blue belt in jujitsu when I started training judo. When I tell you, it upped my game. I was up at Travis one day and I was a blue belt and I subbed the brown belt. I subbed the brown belt with a judo choke. And I mean, I got cussed out, left. Like that dude cussed me so bad, jumped up off the mat, walked off the mat, Travis laughing. Good dog, good dog. I was like, I learned to choke. Travis, I learned to choke in judo. I learned it at judo. It was good dog, good dog, good dog. He guy's just mad, man. He mad. I mean, you got to think, you got your brown belt, you just got choked by a blue belt,
Hey,
in
it
the knee,
happens.
that was supposed to happen. So
Yeah,
after that, I had a new appreciation for judo because a lot of the techniques that's in judo ain't in jujitsu.
yeah. No,
You
that
know?
that's one of my
Maeda didn't show the Gracies everything.
yeah. That's one of my biggest gripes with jujitsu. A lot of it, especially, I'm starting to see more of it now, though. I'm starting to see more wrestling. I'm starting to see more judo included because they finally realize, okay, for you to get to a certain level, you really, really need to incorporate those techniques in there as well. But when I was coming up, it wasn't the stand-up game wasn't huge, and I feel like in the gi more so now. Sadly, I feel like folks when it comes to competition, they're focusing more on points and strategic wins over actually engaging into a fight, like you say. You know what I mean? So the butt scooting, the pulling guard, and just certain things where okay, you every single fight starts standing up, no matter if it's
Mm-hmm.
jiu-jitsu, judo, MMA, no matter what it is, you never just go and lay on your ass, right? You're
Me
always
too.
standing up. So I always wanted to have a little bit more of the stand up game in my game. So that's why I'm really blessed to have Rodrigo as my professor, man, because
That's
he's
his
so
mind
well
too.
rounded in all those things. But you absolutely right. Getting those now you're starting to see that you start even in no-gi, especially no-gi. Now so much wrestling in no-gi, it's almost like you're not even doing jujitsu anymore. It's more so
Yeah.
wrestling. Hmm?
I ended up talking to Paul Adila.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting ready for one of the. Oh, he had just did the ADC trials, ADCC trials. He had won it. He had
Mm-hmm.
won. In his last match, he was going to this black dude, and all they did, they wrestled the entire match.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him about it. I was like, yo, why did you even try to, you know, catch a leg lock or something like that? He was like, man, it was a final match. We was just trying to wrestle to an advantage,
Hmm.
you know. And he said, like, it was this one cat that was training at ATT Atlanta. He was actually teaching up there for Jucal. I'm trying to remember his name. Little Brazilian dude. He went to do the ADCC trials. We were training one morning. This was like a few years, like 2 years ago, and he was wrestling. I was like, "Why you got on wrestling shoes? You jiu-jitsu guy, you know?" No, man. Everybody's wrestling, man. He said, "Nobody's gonna do jiu-jitsu at the ADCC. Everybody's gonna wrestle." That's what he said.
Hmm.
Guys don't want to do jiu-jitsu. Everybody afraid to engage jiu-jitsu now. Everybody wants to wrestle. They want to wrestle to a advantage.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay. Now it's starting to swing back. You
Yeah.
know, going to swing
Yes,
back.
sir.
But I told my guys, like, my guys go compete. As soon as we get to the venue, I'm like, hey, I don't want to see nothing. Man, one of y'all pull. Let me catch you pulling guard. I said, because that can be the difference. If he passes your
Hmm.
guard and just pins you, glues you to the mat for the rest of the time period,
Yeah.
you just
You don't
wasted
need to do
all that
nothing else.
money. You could have
Yeah.
went to another gym and roll with 7 or 8 guys for free.
Right.
You just paid $80 to $100 for one match. You lost by 2 points. You lost by 2 points because you pulled guard and he passed.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, go out there, put your hands on them, and at least try to take them down.
Right,
Just
right,
go
right.
after the points.
Yeah, yeah,
That way, if you don't finish them,
yeah.
you see what I'm saying? Score. Be aggressive.
Now,
Right. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying?
What do you say to
So,
the people that say, you know,
dude, I
it,
got I
it,
got a bunch of buddies that are guard pullers, and they don't want every time. You know, I pull guard. I don't care. You the one like losing. You better get you a takedown, boy. Stop playing.
at
You
least
ain't gonna be
lock
able,
two or
you ain't gonna
three
be able
in
to
that you
sweep
can
every.
get good at.
You ain't gonna be able to sweep everybody. You ain't gonna be able to submit everybody.
You ain't,
Sometimes
sure
you need to
ain't.
take somebody down and just ride them out.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Please, give yourself
And,
a chance. You
and,
know?
and if, like you said, you made a good point earlier from a self-defense perspective. You don't want to really, you could use jujitsu, of course, but you're not gonna ever pull guard. You're not a lot of things that you do in the sport you can't do in a real life situation. But judo, you could always do in a real life situation.
Yeah.
Wrestling, pretty much the same thing. So yeah, no, you're absolutely right, man. We gotta
Now, see,
um
I've been plotting on something too.
oh shit.
Um, uh, I've been contemplating and talking with some people about running some ideas for a grappling organization, coming up with my own. You know, I already got a name for it and everything, but like the grappling that I want to do or the grappling tournament I want to put on is going to force you to fight.
Force you to fight. Okay, so what's the rule set?
I
You
can't
want
go over all that
you
because I want to
you
give it
can't give
away
it
to you. But just know, takedowns are going to be incentivized more
okay, I like
than
that.
before, where takedowns would be more so scored, almost wrestling score based.
And I think that's important too. Like I think that would be a huge eh, um upgrade in the jiu-jitsu world. If we in competition made a takedown worth maybe I don't know as much as a back take, Like, I think that would incentivize people to actually
You
learn
would see people
judo,
fight.
to actually learn takedowns, and actually, oh
Wrestling,
shit, start the fight with a takedown
you
and
would start to see people get up
get up.
instead of staying on their back. You would see people start to punch underhooks and get back to their feet and
Yep,
actually fight for the takedown. Like it would be a lot more exciting to watch.
right.
You see what I'm
Yes,
saying? It would be a
gi
lot
and no
more
gi.
exciting
Yeah,
to watch. Yeah, both of them. Because
yeah,
now
both
people
of them.
would actually fight. You would start to see more wrestlers cross over into jujitsu, and then you would start seeing more jujitsu guys train a lot more wrestling.
You might be on something, man. Keep that, keep that. Might be. That's something I've been saying for a long time. Like, I don't blame them. Why am I gonna do a takedown and what, get 2 points?
I would implement a lot of wrestlings, like the wrestling rules in there. I was thinking about implementing, some of the BJJ positions,
Okay.
some of the positions in BJJ, like knee on belly. Um, like if you could maintain that for a certain amount of time, you would get more points per time, just like riding time in wrestling. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
I would implement riding time into the
You give it too much. You give it too much, man.
like I'm telling you,
No,
I,
that's that.
I got some wild ideas, bro.
No, I
Like,
think I
make
think
it really exciting.
no, I think a lot of people feel the same way you do. I know I do. I'm shit. Just from what you started saying, I'm like, oh, that sounds like, yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely be more interested in something like that. Because, like you said, it's going to make it more exciting. It's going to make people more engaged. And it's also going to help support these other martial arts. Like jujitsu is my personal opinion, just my humble opinion. Is the number one martial art out there now, right? Not just for self defense or anything like that, but just popularity wise.
Business wise,
Everybody wants to
yeah.
learn jujitsu. Everybody and
Business
their
wise.
grandmother, literally doing jujitsu, right? So
Mhm.
but a lot of them, they go in there for self-defense. A lot of them go in there to learn how to take somebody down, to learn how to control somebody, keep them down, to de-escalate it, and if they absolutely have to, then submit or break, whatever, you know what I mean, do what you got to do. But when they get there, what they learning, they're learning De La Eva, they're learning the Pull Guard, they're learning the
You know,
Matrix.
Rodrigo said it best. I asked Rodrigo years ago. I said, Sensei, why don't you teach judo? He turned
Mm-hmm.
around and goes, bro, everybody want to learn jujitsu, bro. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
want to learn how to fall, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just like
it's
that.
just like that.
Nobody want to learn how to get thrown, bro. Easier to teach jujitsu.
That's true. He
I
right.
say
He
that,
absolutely
yeah.
right.
Nobody wants to learn how to fall.
And it's crazy because even when I was teaching, bro, I'll tell you, when I was pull out that mat, the soft mat, the break fall mat to when we
Crash
start
pad.
doing the crash pad. Oh my God,
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh no, we're doing
I
takedown. I'm
know.
like, yeah, we're doing takedowns. What you think? You just gonna just lay on your back every time you get into a fight? Yeah, you gotta learn how to take
Yeah.
somebody down and keep
Yes, you
them
gotta
down.
learn to do it.
Like, what you mean? And they were like, oh, okay. But the thing is like you said, people are scared. They scared to fall. It's so funny. I'm like, yo, you learn how to forward roll, back roll, break fall. What do you think all that's for? You think we just do that shit just to literally warm up? These are all the
Yeah.
foundation of what you're
Exercise.
trying to learn. Like, you break fall for a reason. You forward roll for a reason. You learning all these things for a reason to do takedowns and to understand when you get thrown, how to not
Oh,
necessarily fight, but go with it and come up safe. But they don't want to do that.
man, look, that stuff applies outside the gym. I
Yeah.
was ready for a fight. I was jogging one morning and tripped over the sidewalk.
Shit.
And all I know is I saw the ground coming real quick, and I
Yep.
was doing this
Touch
and
and
trying
roll.
to, and I just knew I was going to eat the pavement, man. So
Yeah.
in mid fall, I dove.
Yeah.
I jumped,
Yeah.
dove right before I hit, took,
Yeah.
rolled, and
Yeah.
popped up and kept riding.
There you go.
And as soon as I dove, I flipped, wow,
Yeah.
slapped the ground and jumped up and like nothing ever happened.
Like nothing happened. And
You
people
know
don't
what I'm
understand.
saying? When I got up, I was like, judo. I tell that story all the time to my guys. I'm like, dude, if I didn't know how to fall, all this would have been white. I would have
Yep.
went down brown and came up white.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, I would
Yep.
came up with what's that skin? What they call it?
To the white meat. Oh,
No, what do they call it?
vitiligo.
Yeah, I would have came up with vitiligo.
Oh my God.
Mm,
Oh, but nah,
that's
you right
fucked
though,
up.
man.
Yeah, the martial arts, man. You never know when you're gonna need that stuff.
You never
You
know.
never
You
know.
never know. Nah, absolutely, man. Nah. Man, listen, man. Yo, you doing a lot of things out there. You got the gym. I know you got the junk removal business. You man,
Hey,
how do you stay moving like that, man? You a father, you a husband, you got businesses, you constantly moving, man. What's the secret, bro? Share with the world, man.
I just stay. I guess I stay occupied, man. I mean, I come from a business-minded family on both sides. I come from a family of just hustlers, man. You know, where both of my grandmothers were bootleggers back in the day. You know, my family just knew how to hustle, make money on the side. So my mom, uh, by the time she was 40 years old, she owned 6 rental properties.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So my mom's a hustler. So I kind of get it. You know, I get it from them. But me, I just never really been my entire dude. I didn't do a martial art until I was 26.
mm,
My first fight at 27. So from the time 19 all the way to 40, I mean, I was a mechanic. You know, I worked on cars. You know, when got 40 years old, I looked up. Said, "Man, I've been working on cars since I was 19. I ain't got nothing to show for it.
mm,
Paycheck to paycheck, focus on the job, treat you any kind of way. You know, you know how it is. They let certain
mm-hmm,
people do whatever they want.
mm-hmm,
You walk in the door at 8:02. You was on the property at 7:58. You get rolled up. They come in
mm,
an hour, 2 hours late. Don't get rolled up.
mm,
You know how
mm.
that goes.
Oh
So
yeah.
finally, man, yeah, finally, dude, I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of being afraid.
Mm.
You know, fear is not of God. No matter which religion you are, fear is not of God. Period. I
Amen.
told myself one day, you know what? I got to stop being scared. If I
Mm.
fail, I fail.
That's
But
it.
you can always come back and turn riches again. But if I don't take this step, I'll never know if I'm gonna make it or not. So I said, when I go to my grave, I'm gonna have no regrets. I don't want to be 80 years old. I wish I had a man. I should have, man. I wish I had a. If I could go back in time, no, I'm gonna do it now. That way, I know if I fail, I fail. I still got something I can fall back on. That's going back to work on cars, right? But if I stay here, I'm never going to make it out. I'm
Mm.
gonna be a slave to these people, to this industry for the rest of my natural life until they
Mm.
decide to cycle me out and bring
Mm.
in younger, your replacement. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, nah, man. I stepped out and I started doing the pressure washing, and then I moved into junk removal, which phased out the pressure washing. You
Okay.
see, and then I opened my gym. And I haven't looked back. Them folks still, when I go by that dealership down there in the Honda and Noonan, they still ask me to come back to this day.
Mm.
Hey man, you want to come back do some used cars? The general manager of the dealership all the time. You want to come back do some used cars? No, sir. I come back with oil change. I'll come back and bring the car. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
you ain't gonna get me back up under there turning no wrenches no more. That's over with. That part of my life's over. I'm an entrepreneur now.
Yes, sir.
Um, and I ain't got to answer to nobody. If I don't want to go to work in the morning, I'll roll back over.
And you ain't got to answer to nobody. That's the that's
Nobody.
the
I ain't gonna
that's the
hit
best part.
nobody. If I don't want to go to work, hey, Jamal, go pick up Gator. Y'all go do this such and such over on this side of town. Y'all got some apartments over on that side. Dude,
There it
right
is.
back to sleep. Or I'll get up and go train.
Boss moves.
You see? And that's the way you should live, man. You know,
Absolutely.
it's a lot less stressful.
Mm.
You got more mental peace. A lot of people don't understand, man. These jobs will cause your mental health to go. You know, you can lose your mental health on one of these jobs, man. You see these people crash out at work all the time.
Facts.
You know, martial arts is a good outlet for that too.
Yeah.
I tell a lot of people
Absolutely.
that when they come into my gym, you know, you get a good group in there. Sometimes at the end of the night, I'll cut all the lights off. I'll cut the big Bluetooth speaker on with the strobe light, and I'll put it on 528 hertz frequency music.
Mm.
We'll sit on the floor, we'll stretch, we'll meditate.
Mm.
Everybody focus on yourself. Everything get real quiet. I'll be like, focus on yourself. Everything that happened during the day, the stress, the strife at home, whatever you got, that's on your mind, that's stressing you out.
Mm.
We're gonna leave it right here on the mat in 3, 2, 1, and then it's just silence and just the music playing. We'll sit there for about 7 or 8 minutes, just deep breathing, eyes closed, just deep breathing, and then when we're done, everybody get up, cut the lights on, and man, people be like, I feel so much lighter. I
Yeah.
feel so much lighter. I'm
That's
like,
dope.
yeah, man. Like when people tell you, like when they tell you stress carries weight, it literally does.
Yeah.
It literally does, and it'll kill you.
Oh,
Especially as
absolutely.
a man. Especially as a man, we die faster than women or earlier
Yeah.
than women because we don't cry,
Mm.
we don't cry, and we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We hold it in.
Yeah.
You see, and that causes heart disease. It causes stroke,
You
heart
don't
attack.
realize. Oof.
You don't realize it. You know, but as a man, you know, y'all men, hey, you ain't no bitch if you cry. I cry all the time.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
You cry all the time because
Not damn thing wrong with it.
I'm sensitive to energy and I can't hold it. I can't hold it in. I
Yes, sir.
go to the water. I go to the water, to the creek, the river, and I
Mm-hmm.
go there. I cleanse and I cry if I need to cry. Because you got
Shit.
to get it off your chest. As a
Yeah.
man, you have to get it off your chest. You
Absolutely.
know, this world is hard for a
Especially
man.
for ones that look like us.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, nothing comes easy. You always got to fight. So the martial arts game, man, is mental and it's spiritual.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
you bring that path together as one, you'll find a lot of peace in your life. Because
And
you'll learn how to channel that stress, that anger, that depression. I deal with a lot of people with depression, man. I got guys in my gym, man. I've got off of meth,
mm,
uh, pills, alcohol,
mm.
uh, youth with just bad behavior, school behavior, fighting all the time. And I've corrected a lot of that stuff, you know,
That's
through
enough.
martial
That's what martial arts is, man. That's what, and
arts.
that's for BJJ and for those who don't train, they will never understand it. That's why jujitsu is so popular right now because it's one of the best ways to release some of that stress, right? Because I
Yeah.
ain't gonna lie to you, I've had situations where a couple people at my job get on my nerves. I just, hey, you wanna go to the gym? Come to the gym, you know what I'm saying? Or if you stress, go to the gym. I promise you, there's nothing like choking somebody out, or even if you the one getting choked out for some reason, just being able to physically release that does so much for you that, oh man, that's why people, you getting beat up for 2 years, the first 2 3 years of your journey in jujitsu. But it's one of the most beautiful parts of that journey because you just
Mhm.
able to just learn who you are, release a lot of that stress, get all that bullshit out your system, and go back. I tell my wife all the time, listen, I'm a much nicer person when I go train. I'm a much better human being when I'm able to release the outlet. Because, like you said, for men, we quote unquote not allowed to show any type of emotion or any type of fear, anything of that nature, because
Right.
whatever society deems it, you know, not right. But fuck that. Like you said, if you
Yeah.
got to cry, cry it out. If you want to punch it out, go to the gym. You want to, just physically release some of that stress, find you a nice gym like Usher MMA and release that, man.
Then let's do it. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. Man, absolutely. Yo, appreciate you, man. Definitely a great conversation with you. A lot of gems. I learned a lot. But I did have one before you go, one thing I wanted to ask you, the nickname, man.
It was well, if you go and you study World War II theater, the Japanese they had built a battleship called the Yamato.
Mm-hmm.
The Yamato was a super battleship, the largest battleship ever built. The only one that could rival it is the Bismarck, and that was built by the Germans in World War II. That was the largest battleship they had, was called the Bismarck. Well, the Japanese outdid them. They built a battleship called the Yamato. Now, the Yamato class battleship was named after Prince Yamato, which is supposed to be a mythical character. He's the Japanese equivalent of Hercules. So the first samurai clan to come out of Japan is supposed to be the Yamato clan samurais, right? So the model of that ship, they were going to send that ship into the middle of the invading American fleet that was invading Japan. They were going to send it into the middle of the fleet, and its job was to take out as many ships as it could before they sunk it. So before they left, they did the sake, they did the shots, the suicide ritual, all of that, because they knew they weren't coming back, all the men on the ship. So they went to sail the ship out there, and it got a reconnaissance plane saw it. And they radioed back. They said, "This is the largest battleship we've ever seen. We cannot let this ship make it to the fleet. It's going to take out half of the fleet before we could get to Japan." So they sent 300 planes.
Dang.
And they sunk it. 300 dive bombers and torpedo bombers, and they sunk the ship. It's sitting in the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. Like the guy that found the Titanic, he found it. Yeah, he found it. So, but that was their super battleship. But that was their motto of the ship was we will go down spitting fire.
Okay.
And I always stuck with that. I was like, you know what? I like the Japanese because, even though they knew they were going to lose that war, they were sending their pilots out there to fly into American ships, the kamikaze pilots. And for a samurai was it was a dishonor to lose a battle and not die. That's why they would commit, was it Saboku? Were they?
Yeah.
They would kill them. If they lose a battle, they would kill themselves right there on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Take their short sword. They would take the short katana.
Yeah.
Up and over. That way they make sure they would bleed out. They would bleed to death. And they would just sit there and then boom, fall forward and die. But to them, that was an honorable death.
Yeah.
So to be killed in battle is an honorable death to them because they believed that dying for the emperor, they were going to go, to heaven if they died for the emperor, But that's the way they believe. But that's one of the most dangerous people to fight because they don't care if they die.
They die. And that's a great way to close it out, man. Yo, I'm glad I asked that. That's a dope story, man.
Yeah, like I said, that's what I tell people, man. It's like once I made that pact when I made that walk to the ring, I'm ready to die. So at that point, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter what happens in the fight. If I don't come back out of that ring alive, so be it.
Yes, sir.
And that's why I fought the way I did.
Yeah.
Fight like you already did.
Your motto. Okay. I love it, man. Yo, appreciate you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing some great work out there. You producing some great fighters, and you producing some great humans too. You know what I mean? Helping them get over some things, and that's a beautiful thing about martial arts, man. So again, appreciate you joining. And hey, we're gonna do this again. We're definitely gonna chop it up again.
Let's do it. Well, we'll get some good topics next time, man. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, appreciate you.
Later.